Dr. Donald Palmer, and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
Today, Dr. Joe Wende is here to discuss why we need to embrace NHS screening for a longer, happier and healthier life.
Hi, my name is Joe Wende. I'm a doctor by background, a consultant in public health, and I am the cancer screening public health lead for NHS England in London.
How many NHS screening programs are there?
So we have about 10 NHS screening programs, which are actually offered from pregnancy all the way to our later years. So pregnant women are offered various screening tests for things like infectious diseases and to detect genetic abnormalities in the baby. And then we have a variety of screening tests that we offer newborns. Including things like testing their hearing, checking if their hips are okay, and checking for other genetic disorders. And then in later life, we start offering people with diabetes an annual eye screening test every year from the age of 12, and we offer men a screening test called an abdominal aortic aneurysm screening test in the year that they turn 65, and all adults are offered cancer screening as well. So we offer the cervical screening program to women between 25 and 64. We offer bowel cancer screening to men and women aged between 56 and 74, and we offer breast screening to women from the age of 50 up to the time that they turn 71.
How can we prevent cervical cancer?
So cervical cancer is one of the cancers that we can totally eliminate. One of the most important things that we need to do is to make sure that young boys and girls are vaccinated. The vaccination is offered to year 8 and it remains free up until the age of 25. And the benefit of the HPV vaccination is that not only does it prevent cervical cancers, but it can also prevent certain mouth and throat cancers. It can also prevent certain types of anal cancers, and it can prevent genital warts.
What is the role of cervical screening in preventing cancer?
Also very important is taking up the offer for cervical cancer screening. So from the time that you are 25, you'll be offered a cervical cancer screening test, sometimes called a smear test. And if you have HPV, this virus, we check to see if you have any abnormal cervical cells. And if you have those abnormal cervical cells, you'll be offered the opportunity for us to take a closer look and for us to potentially remove those abnormal cells. The combination of HPV vaccine and cervical cancer screening means that we actually have the tools to actually eradicate or eliminate cervical cancer once and for all across the world.
Do women know what to expect when going for breast screening?
You will receive your breast screening invitation for the first time between the age of 50 and 53. And the breast screening test comprises x-rays of the breast. So you'll have 2 x-rays on either side, and this x-ray is called a mammography. The mammography will be done by women, and you'll be asked to undress from above the waist, so it's a good idea to wear a skirt or a trousers. The breast screening test, the mammography, can be painful or uncomfortable, but it only lasts 1 or 2 minutes.
Are some women more likely to get breast cancer than others?
So the risk of breast cancer increases with age. 8 out of 10 breast cancers occur in women over 50, so age is the biggest risk factor for developing breast cancer. There are other risk factors, for example, having a relative who's had breast cancer and certain genetic mutations such as having the BRCA gene. But most women who actually develop breast cancer don't actually have a relative who's had breast cancer, which is why it's so important to attend breast screening. Breast cancer is one of the most common cancers in the UK, and we are all at risk of developing breast cancer as we get older. So when you are invited for your screening test, you should carefully consider the pros and the cons and consider the benefits of attending screening, because it will allow us to detect that breast cancer early when it is too small to feel or to see, and we can actually treat it early and therefore improve your chances of a good treatment outcome and improve the chances of survival.
There is also a campaign running about bowel cancer screening. Is that for men only, or should women do that as well?
Bowel cancer screening is offered to both men and women from the age of 56 to 74. And you'll be sent a bowel cancer screening test kit called a fit kit that you complete at home. You put a small sample of your poo into a test tube and you send it back to the NHS, and we'll send you back your results within 2 weeks. And 98 out of 100 people actually get a normal result and don't require further tests. If you are required to come for further tests, this will usually entail what is called a colonoscopy, where we will take a look inside your bowel to see if you have any signs of cancers or growths called polyps, which we would want to remove, because even though they're not cancerous, they can develop into cancer if they're left in the bowel.
Thanks very much, Joe, for helping us to understand about cancer screening. Do you have any last words before you go?
Yes, it is important for our audience to realize that cancer screening saves lives. So when they receive their invitation letter, they must read the information that is provided very carefully, and if they have any questions, they should discuss those questions or concerns with a health professional that they trust, or to speak to some of our charitable partners like Joe's Trust and the African and Caribbean Healthcare Network. More information is also available online at nhs.uk. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to spread the message that screening saves lives.
This is Starr Radio
Thanks for
UK.
listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
By about one day, it had been due to take off from a site in California. BBC News.
Welcome back to the Arts Hour on the BBC World Service with me, Badisha Mamata. We're here on stage at the Oxford Literary Festival. If you've only just joined us, here's what you missed in the first half of the show. Author Mick Herron spoke to us about his latest spy thriller, Bad Actors, from the Slow Horses series, which has been adapted for TV, starring Gary Oldman as the greasy-haired, crumpled anti-hero Jackson Lamb. And Rebecca Kwong discussed her new novel, which takes on plagiarism, ambition, and fame in the publishing industry. In this part of the show, we're coming to you from the handsome oak-lined lecture theatre at the 18th century Worcester College with a rapt audience. And I'm joined on stage by three authors who are part of the Oxford Literary Festival. They're all telling historical stories from very different perspectives. I have with me actor and author Patterson Joseph, lawyer turned memoirist Lita McCulloch-Seletsky, and artist and writer Samson Kambalu. Welcome, all of you. First, a little about their books. Using the scarce factual details to hand, Patterson Joseph has richly imagined through fictionalized secret diaries the wild life story of Charles Ignatius Sancho, an escaped slave who made his way up through the 18th century and into London society. Lita McCulloch-Seletsky has delved into her own family's history to uncover the secret identity of her father, an undercover police officer and CIA operative who was present in 1968 when civil rights hero Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. The famous photograph depicting that moment shows Lita's father as the kneeling man, which gives her book its title. And family also looms large in Samson Kambalu's childhood memoir, The Jive Talker, which propels him from the adventures and the naughtiness of his childhood in Malawi to the complexities of post-apartheid South Africa and on towards his artistic ambitions and success. Welcome, everybody. All three of you have extremely accomplished other lives: lawyer, actor, artist. Why did you want to adopt the role of writer and tell this particular story? Lita?
I really didn't want to write this story. In fact, I spent most of my life getting as far away from it as I could. But I came to a point in life after I had two of my three children where I had to sit with these things that I had previously run from, and ideas about legacy and meaning, and what I was passing down to my children, and in particular, what I could tell them about their grandfather. And that was a blank slate that I knew I needed to fill. And so that is what made me a writer, that I became a writer.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from Sendwave. Sendwave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With Sendwave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, Sendwave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use Sendwave? Sendwave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the
darkness.
The whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world in adjustment. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk /COVID vaccination or call 119.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820, or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Live online. Broadcasting live online. Turn it on. Turn it up. All around the world.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Starr Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
The best radio show
worldwide,
all
online, 24/7,
in your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Are you ready to turn it up?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Hey, this is Archie and you are listening to Starr Radio UK and the Morning Show.
This is Starr Radio. This is
UK.
Starr Radio
UK.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Welcome.
Worldwide online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Star Radio.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to salute each and every one of you, and once again welcome you to the Starr Radio UK morning show. If it's your first time of tuning in to listen to us, yes, this program comes your way every weekday from 10 o'clock. Proceeding with all the news that is making the rounds across the globe from Sky News, BBC, and then we bring you the in-house program as well. So wherever you are, stay glued to your sets. Don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. But let me say good morning to my team this morning. Mr. Olayomi Koiki, massive good morning to you. Mr. Frank Davis in the house, good morning to you. And my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy, I salute each and every one of you.
This is Starr Radio. This is
UK.
Starr Radio
UK.
This is Starr Radio
UK. A special good morning also goes to Pastor Momo. It's a nice voice. God bless the voice. We choose to smile regardless of the cloudy start of Nigeria. Pastor Momo, good morning. Bishop Adesina, a massive good morning to you as well. I hope you are doing very, very well. Anthony Adedeji, massive good morning to you. Felix on the way in Aberdeen, Kojo D here in the south of London.
24/7.
And as many of you who are on the platform, I beseech you, brethren, by the message of God.
Enlighten your day.
Are you preaching? No, I'm not preaching. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. Olakunle, good morning to you. Okay, so as it is, we're going to be going straight on. I'm going to bring you the quote of the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, then the travel updates. Move on from there to have a look at some stories making the rounds across the globe, not as global trotting. At 11 o'clock, we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who will be bringing you updates from Nigeria. And then we'll move on swiftly from thence to look at other stories making the rounds across the globe. And then exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. And then we'll continue till 1 o'clock when we bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So in a gist, that's what is going to happen. And once again, let me say welcome to the program. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. We are transmitting live on all our social media platforms and on our own apps as well. So wherever you are, stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let's crack on. The quote for the day says, "It is my firm conviction that everyone's destiny will have its ups and downs, zigzags, drawbacks, and accomplishments. But it depends on how you see it all and whether you see it as a glass half full or you say that it's half empty. You have to psych yourself up and just move on with it." So, wherever you are, once again, welcome to the program, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's crack on. Okay, so straight on to the weather front. Well, it's been a nice weather over the weekend, but for yesterday when we had a bit of rain here in the UK, that aside in London, in the southeast area, I would have said that it was a very nice weather. And though it's been raining and stuff, but it's not that cold, so it is good, right? Okay, but this afternoon, this is how it's going to be for you if you are in the London and the southeast of England. Well, we're going to be seeing this afternoon a thicker cloud built in from the west with spells of rain arriving later in the day, and it's going to be turning windy. Now tonight will start windy and wet with rain, heavier times turning drier overnight with clear spells developing. However, the odd shower may move in from the west towards dawn, and it's going to be staying windy. Top temperature is going to be 14 degrees, the lower 6 degrees, pollen level moderate, UV level moderate, and then pollution low. Sunset 1950 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 06:14 hours, and that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you. Now let me take you straight to the travels as well. So on your travels, what's happening on your travels this morning? Now for those of you using the underground this morning, now the second line has got severe delays, district line minor delays. It is Elizabeth line, partly suspension, severe delays and minor delays. So a mixed grill there. So please check before you leave. Also, Hammersmith and City lines and the Jubilee lines have got severe delays and minor delays respectively. The Metropolitan line has also got severe delays and minor delays. London Tram Link has got part closures, but on the other side, all the others have got good service. DLR and London Overground, good service there as well. Now moving on straight to the major roads in London, A12, A24, A4, Central London Red routes, A40 have all got serious delays. Alright then, now let's move on to the river bus. I can tell you shortly. Good service throughout on the river bus, on the Langdon cable car, good service there as well. But to the final segment of a travel update, that is the National Rail. This is what's happening on the National Rail. Cross country has got special service, Great Western Railway special service. The Transport for Wales has got minor delays. Other side, all the others, good service there. On that note, I will say it once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your coming for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Wwith is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With Wwith, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, Wwith is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use Wwith? Wwith is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Wwith and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 8 minutes to the top of the hour. And let me say good morning to Auntie Pearl. Hey! Yes. It's been quite a long time, and thank you very much for joining us as well. I hope the family is doing very, very well, and the boss man himself. Regards to each and every one of them, and to every one of you. I hope that you all had a very nice Easter. Okay, yeah. You know, when it comes to Easter, some say, "Oh, good Easter," or what is it? I thought the salutation, I wasn't getting it right, but I hope you all had a good time. All right. Okay, now let's crack on to some of the stories making the round this month. I'm going to be looking at when it comes to Nigeria. Well. It insisted that any northerner angling for the leadership of the Senate had no respect for the party's constitution. Now, Tinubu supporters boil as Uber facts circulates Nigerian president-elect cocaine business to global audience. You know, everybody is trying to, watch the dirty linen of their neighbors in public. But let's see. Now, President Buhari lost 8 months of his administration to treatment of sickness. Femi Adesina says, well, remember that the president was in the UK for how many? So it looks like a few months, and then it said that in total 8 months he was away on sick leave. Maybe some holidays were a part of it, but how do you know? Okay, Nigeria police order arrest of officers slapping man repeatedly, assaulting passengers in a viral video. I saw that video and I was like, when we talk about the rule of law in our part of the world, that is on a different level, you know. But this one, Now, the government of the United Kingdom has announced restriction on the active recruitment of health and social care workers from Nigeria by its public and private healthcare organizations. Now, UK halts active recruitment of health workers from Nigeria to combat brain drain crisis. Well, what's it last week when we did talk about Zimbabwe also coming out with that? But you know, with everything that is going on, you ask yourself the question: have our governments back home actually giving the enabling environment for every industry to thrive in? Somebody say no. Are they even paying them enough? No. So you have doctors, you have they all go to the facility. Do they have the necessary logistics to actually see to patients? No. Well, someone will say that, well, we trained you, so you got to stay in here. But someone will say again there that we signed an agreement with you, and we've honored our bits, and therefore it's up to you to also do your bit. If you're not, then we're going to be leaving the country to go to places where we can get greener pastures. Now, what about you? If you are listening to us, what do you think about all that? Lots more going to be coming your way when it comes to updates from Nigeria. 5 minutes to the top of the hour at a time, the morning show. Now, let's move on straight to look at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. CBI boss sacked over misconduct claims. The business group dismisses Tony Danka following complaints about his conduct involving a female employee. My goodness. And then in other stories, Biden to emphasize peace commitment on visit to Northern Ireland. The US president arrives in Belfast this evening and will be greeted by Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. And we have the former president Bill Clinton, who is also supposed to set to be in Belfast, I think sometime this week. I don't know whether today or tomorrow. He's also going to be there as well. I don't know. I think Tony Blair, the former prime minister, is also going to be there, and a few of the Northern Ireland leaders who were involved in that 25 years older agreement that brought about some peace there. Okay, so we'll be seeing what is going to happen. But with all the unrest and the threats that seem to be going on, that was announced sometime last week. Last week. Do you think that the peace treaty that was signed is actually broken or destroyed? That's the question I'm asking this morning. I want to know more about that. Now, when it comes to other parts of the world as well, now UN agency investigating humanitarian food theft in Ethiopia. You go to some of the African countries and you know all this food aid thing that is brought to them. You go to the market and you see bags, especially the rice. Then you see that maybe it's plastered with US flag and UN whatever on it, and it's being sold in the market. Nobody is questioning it. How did it get to the market? Supposed to be free. So who are profiteering from that? I bet you that woman selling her wares in the market has not got access to that warehouse. So who gave it to her? All right then. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And then in Ethiopia as well, still authorities impose restriction on nightlife meetings over protests. On Monday, the government imposed restrictions on nightlife and meeting in 3 major cities in Ethiopia's Amhara region, including the most populous area as well. So, got to be bringing you more. Well, a volcano has erupted in Russia as well. I'll be telling you more about that when we come to the details of some of the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Just stay tuned, don't you go away. Now, Ghana's bilateral creditors set to clear way for $3 billion IMF bailout. That says the Minister for Finance and Economic Planning. What do you think? What do you think there? More going to be coming your way on that front. Now, the Ghana police should act with dispatch over Brian Echampon's comments. That's what the NDC is saying. We say that, well, you know what? The MPP is not ever going to hand over to an NDC government, blah, blah, blah. We'll do everything. We've got a man. What does he actually mean by that statement? Well, lots more. But IDEG says Akufo-Addo should intervene in Brian's comments saga. So, what is the plot? We'll be telling you more about that. I've got all the expertise in the house and we're going to be breaking it down for you. So this and a lot more going to be coming your way this morning, wherever you are. Don't touch the dial. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And as I did say earlier on, some breaking news that came through as well. Let me see whether I can get details of it and bring it your way. Says okay, my apologies, it's eluded me. I will get it later on and I'll bring it your way. So just stay tuned. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let me bring you this tune and then we move on from there. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. On a Tuesday edition of the morning show. Today is the 11th day of April 2023. It is Starr Radio UK, and wherever you are, I hope that you are enjoying the music in the background from the Joyful Way Incorporated. Let me see whether I can pronounce that name. Ongukofila. Oh my goodness. But you know, we say music is a universal language. Therefore, at least if you don't hear any, don't understand anything that is going on, you can still nod your head and tap your foot to it. Or maybe to our South African listeners, Evan, good morning to you, Chantal. Oh, in Cape Town, I know you'll be enjoying the morning show. So wherever you are listening to us from, can you tell us what the meaning of that song is? And I can Google and find it, but it would be nice to hear from you as well, because you speak those languages. But wherever you are, Starr Radio UK, making sure we bring you everything that you need to know, from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. As we say all the time, it's making headlines. Why not? We make sure that we're going to touch on it, and it's now time for us to touch on what is happening and giving you all the details about what is happening in Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who has joined us this morning after a week's break from the front lines, let me put it that way. Yeah, so he was working behind the scenes, but he's here this morning, and we are going to bring you everything that you need to know when it comes to the stories making the rounds in Nigeria. Yomi, massive good morning to you.
Well, it is a very good morning to you, Mr. Archie, and a very good morning to you, Frank. Good morning to Bossman. Good morning to Dante and the rest of the team, and good morning to our listeners and viewers from around the world. and I say welcome to Star Radio UK. It is still the April, it is still the festival mood, but we are back into the program as usual. And like Archie was saying, it's been a week behind the scene, but I've been following almost all the news and the headline on our favorite channel, Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. At 11 o'clock every Monday to Friday, come down here and you can get all the update from Nigeria, because as they say, the big giant of Africa, or is it the ant of Africa, as some are saying? Well, we'll have to tell. I'll come back again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Well, listeners, Mr. Olayomi for you, all ready to fire on all cylinders. So wherever you are, you also stay glued to your sets and enjoy the show with me, Mr. Frank Davis, Mr. Olayomi, and our able producer, Mr. Francis Guy as well, and every one of you there on the platform, the various platforms. We salute you once again. Well, we know that the festivities have taken place. We know there are other festivities still going on, but how many days after the presidential election in Nigeria, and we think that things have calmed down nicely, but it looks like some ugly heads are being risen. Looking at ballers past and people doing all sorts there. So what is going on there?
Well, the election was held as the government promised, apart from the governorship election that had about 10 days, interval. But the February election that has been planned, about 350 billion naira was spent. Whether it is money well spent, I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will debate on that. But as you say, after 25th of February till date, there is still wrangling. There is still the opposition have not congratulated the president. There's still a lot of banter. There's been a protest already in Washington D.C. by some Nigerians that think that American government must do everything to save humanity, or probably interfere, which I'm not sure they're going to do anyway. But like you said, a month passed already, just about almost 6 weeks after the February, or what do we call the 2023 election that decide, who becomes the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Things have become very calm, but it is still being hit up, because we are now less than another 5 weeks when President Muhammadu Buhari would have to hand over to the incoming Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But as I say, Buhari is taking his last trip to Saudi Arabia before the final handling in May 29, if all goes as planned.
Well, interesting. Now, that allegation that is being labeled against the president-elect, let me call him, we will come to the tribunal and everything that's supposed to take place. Now, talking about some cocaine dealings and stuff like that, how true are they? Are there something that happened in the past that has been trashed and maybe it's been cleared and everything, and people are just trying to just pull that out again or bring that out to discredit him? What exactly has gone on there?
Well, when we talk about everybody has a past, and sometimes, we could have a past that could haunt us back, or we could have a past that could probably be part of our help. Let's first talk about, what you're talking about is actually the United States District Court of the Northern District of Illinois has released fresh document holding Bola Tinubu's encounter with the American authorities over, and we have to say that over, allegation of narcotic trafficking and money laundering. What do we know? I mean, I've got the paper right in front of me. We know that, sometimes, Tinubu lives in the U.S., before he moved back to Nigeria, and then, but this was sometimes around in the 80s, according to the, the document I have here. And it says the United States of America, by its attorney Michael J. Shepard, the United States attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, for its verified complaint for the forfeiture, state as follows. This is a forfeiture action under 21 USC 881 and 18 USC 981. This court has the jurisdiction over this action pursuant. What do we know? In summary, we know that almost close to $500,000 went into Bola Ahmed Tinubu's account, while he was in US. And what was this money? And is this a legitimate money? Evidence has pointed out that this was never a legitimate money. 460,000 US dollars of what we can call narcotic money from, people went into his account, even though he said he never knew that money was coming from those individuals. He actually let the money go, and this has now become a hunt for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And even though he has said that this has been a long time, and that hasn't stopped him from becoming or participating or contesting as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So this has been going on for a very long time, and it seems it just keeps going on and it's not ending. And this has been one of the most discussed conversation, that can we have a president that has history of money that has to do with narcotics into his own account, or should we just ignore it and say it is just our past, just as everybody has a past?
Well, can we just ignore it? But we've got Frank in the house as well. Let's go to him and let's pick his thought about Frank. How are you?
I'm good. Olami, how are you doing?
Shout out to you, my brother. Good morning.
Good.
Now, we hope you had a nice Easter weekend as well.
A restful one.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's what we want to hear. Now, let's first of all go to the foreign protests that we normally do. Yeah. We have a group who will go to maybe the US, maybe the UK, or some foreign nation, and then we protest and we protest.
Yeah.
I mean, the Nigerians, some Nigerians are calling for the US to actually find a way to either intervene.
Yeah.
In what is happening in Nigeria at the moment with the elections. We know up to now the president, unless he's done it in the background, has not congratulated the United States president has not acknowledged, let me put it this way, the results of the election that took place in Nigeria, therefore thereby not congratulating Tinubu. But what do you think, the protests that have gone on, let's talk about that first, and then we come to the drug issue, past events in
Actually,
our lives.
I think the protests are a legitimate right for every nationals of every citizens, more so when we have our leaders depending or relying a lot on international community. Basically, you pull the triggers where it might be able to be very effective, or it might hurt more. So, I mean, going to the international community or protesting, sending petitions to international community, getting attention on the media. In fact, let's also remind ourselves that Liar Mohammed, anytime he wants to talk,
he'll go there.
He'll go to Washington to assemble a group of journalists, pay them, thinking that is how their issue can go far. So I think what Nigerians are doing, let's congratulate them. For me, it's better than they taking the arms. At the end of the day, we shouldn't, or the West should not give excuse or say, okay, we could have done something, because these people are doing everything possible to raise alarm, telling you that this is what went wrong. Can you do something? Do you have some leverage over some of these leaders? Can you do something about it? Let's see you acting. Let's see you taking that leadership that you want us to accord you, that you're a global leader. When it comes to democracy, we should learn from you. When it comes to taking advice, you should be the guiding principle, which are veiled by certain principles that you have actually put in place. And indeed, you impose a democracy on us in one way or the other. So if something is going wrong, and I think it's legitimate that the Nigerians all over the world protest, whether it's to the Dalai Lama, whether it's to the mosques next them, whether it's to the Xi Jinping or wherever you are. If you can even protest at your workplace, if you can wear a t-shirt say Nigerian might not happen to us, as your clothing to your warehouse whilst you are working, is part of the protest.
Okay. Well, listeners, that's Frank's agreement whether there's any to public foreign protests. Now let's come to the issue pertaining to Tinubu once again, where in the past there's been allegation that he's been involved in some cocaine, whatever it is. Now it's an allegation, and it was somewhere in the 80s. Now up to now, as whether there was any need for him to be charged and maybe imprisoned or whatever, nothing of the sort has been done. So why should people be bringing that up, and why should the US government there be publishing such things?
Actually, I think it's right for them to bring it out. I do not see anything wrong with it bringing it out. My only worry is that the angle they are coming from is a bit problematic for me. Tinubu used to live in Chicago, south side of Chicago, and he was a taxi driver. I mean, some of us know certain people who were close to him. My boss was his friend.
Okay.
I mean, they were very, very close. A lot of things are known about him. Now, with this very case, I think Tinubu was not basically indicted for drug offenses. What we know is that he was accused, taken to court. Basically, the case was taken to court, and a forfeiture order was issued by the court to forfeit certain money that he claims he did not know, just like money laundering. Money has gone to your account, and if it was today, I think he would have been prosecuted. I mean, he would have been in prison, because how do people know your account? Those were the time where people used to use checks and that, and so you can claim that probably you issue a check to somebody and so there are a lot of defense mechanisms. In today, evidence would have probably even established that the telephone conversation between those who actually put the money in, and they would have established probably you actively sent a text message to them, giving them your number. But 1980s difficult to see as exchanging text messages, WhatsApp messages, which today help in fighting some of these crimes. They would have even pinpointed exactly using his what they call a locational data on his mobile phone how he met them, where all those evidence would have come out. What troubles me, however, is that he did not disclose it. He has not publicly addressed the issue. One would have expected that before you even step foot forward that you want to contest, the electoral community should be asking certain questions that will unravel your background record. Okay, for us to put out there to say that, oh, okay, these are the background records that he has. Anyone with information contrary to this can come, because it ought to be published. You get me? But not disclosing that, for me, is where the problem is. Are you getting me? It's either the law did not require him. If that's the case, then we should be looking at the law, which will make it mandatory. Just like here we do DBS check. Whether you were guilty or not, once you had a cause to answer to questions from the court, it has to be made public. Questioned by the authorities, it has to be declared. That is here. If you are ever accused of rape and the police, it's on your record, you will have to disclose it. I mean, Nigerians are very good at disclosing on their CV their attempted
senator,
attempted MPs. Why can't we say attempted?
Who was it? Drug peddler.
Are you getting me? But the fact is that he was not convicted of drug dealing. That is one. So the angle people are pushing that he's a drug peddler like that. There's no document to establish that fact that in his defense. Money was put in my account. I did not know the source of it. You claim it is drug related money. I said, okay, have the money. That is him. That's it. I have not personally benefited from it. What you claim was drug money aimed at my account, or who came to my account aimed at profiting me. I have not profited it. What you see in my account, have it if you claim it's drug related, because I do not know the people who even put that money in there also,
Okay, listeners, interesting one. But what do you think about that? It is Starr Radio UK. Updates from Nigeria. We've got Mr. Frank Davis in the studio and Mr. Olayomi in our North London studios, bringing you updates from Nigeria. Now let's go back to Yomi. Now, what has been the reaction of the opposition parties in Nigeria at the moment pertaining to this issue? Because everybody wants something to actually unweight the other. What are they saying?
Well, you're quite right, and like Frank has actually, explained it. I couldn't have explained it much better. But what we do know is that, every Nigerian politicians and probably most African politicians have one kind of baggage in their cupboard that they are trying to avoid, from the public domain. But because of the kind of world that we are living in, Tinubu has got a lot, when it comes to his age, his background, it seems that everything has disappeared. Nobody knows, the friends he went with, during the time he was in secondary school up to primary school, even his community. But all we know that is, is somewhere from Osun State, and there's a lot. But in terms of the reaction, there's been a lot of different reaction on these, especially, whether the Labour Party or the PDP will be using that against him, when they're going to be taking their case to the court. is something that we'll have to wait and see. We know that the court proceedings have started, but it is not there yet. But there's still a bit of ample of time for them to respond to different petition that is being sent across. But what a lot of Nigerians are saying, as Tinubu lost the credibility to be the Nigerian president, on that ground, we will have to wait and see. But a lot of different reaction, and let's just take some of those reaction before we move straight away as well. Somebody went to say that Abike Dabiri is someone I want to know a take on this. Please, how do I get to hear or read a response, considering she's blocked me? Abike Dabiri is the diaspora, that works with the diaspora, but it seems that this person cannot get access to Abike Dabiri. I actually saw with the former president Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida in Minna in one of her tweets, because she was one time a correspondent, with the NTA, during the Babangida era. But right now she's also a card carry member